If you've ever looked into buying a home and felt completely overwhelmed, you're not alone. Because mortgages don't just feel complicated, they actually are. Rates, terms, monthly payments, down payments. There's a lot happening all at once, and when everything feels important, it's hard to know what actually matters. So most people do one of two things. They either rush into it and hope it works out, or they avoid it completely because it feels too big. But there's a simpler way to think about this. Not perfect, just clearer. Because at the core, a mortgage is just one thing. It's a long-term payment. That's it. Everything else is built around that. And that's where people get tripped up. They focus on the details before understanding the impact. So let's simplify this down. There are really three things that matter most: the payment, the timeline, and the flexibility. Okay, so first, the payment. This is the one you feel every month, and it doesn't just include the loan, it's everything: taxes, insurance, maintenance over time. So the number you see at the beginning is not always the number that you actually live with. And if that payment is tight, everything else in your life feels tight too. That's the part people underestimate because it looks manageable on paper, but real life is different. Things come up, costs change, and if there's no room, there's no flexibility, which leads to stress. So before anything else, the question becomes, does this payment leave space in my life? Not just, can I afford it today? Second, the timeline. Most mortgages are long, very long. 15 years, 30 years. That's a big commitment. And over that time, your life will change. Incomes change, expenses change, priorities change. So it's not just about getting approved, it's about whether the structure works over time. Because what feels fine today might not feel fine the same time later. And the longer the timeline, the more that actually matters. So third, flexibility. This is the part almost nobody talks about. How easy is it to adjust if something changes? Can you handle a bad month, a job change, unexpected costs, or does everything depend on things going perfectly? Because if everything has to go perfectly, that's a fragile situation, and fragile doesn't feel good. So when you put this all together, the goal isn't to find the perfect mortgage, it's to understand the trade-offs. Lower payments usually mean longer timeline. Shorter timeline means higher payments. Everything is connected, so instead of trying to optimize everything, you simplify it. You ask, does this fit my life? Not just today, but realistically, with room for things to change, because that's what actually matters, not just getting the house, but being able to live with that decision without constant pressure. And once you think about it that way, it becomes less overwhelming, not simple, but clearer. And clarity is what makes decisions easier.